Welcome back to Primetime News, and a special welcome if you're watching online at onespotmedia.com. Up first this evening, most Jamaicans do not believe they're at risk of catching the highly contagious COVID-19 disease. That's according to data obtained through the RJ Aglina Don Anderson poll. It was done from July 24 to August 3, sampling 1,071 persons from all parishes. The poll has a margin of error of plus or minus 3%. Here's Andrea Chisholm with the details.
COVID-19, the highly infectious virus that has turned the world upside down. Over 21 million cases worldwide, killing over 761,000 people. In Jamaica, there are over 1,070 confirmed cases. But despite the data, 51% of Jamaicans believe they are not at risk of catching COVID-19. 49% felt they are at risk.
Now understanding the incidence of persons who don't comply with some of the measures because they don't really believe they're at risk. And I've heard this anecdotally. People say, no, it happened to me, man. And I think you probably have picked it up in some of what you've done. People don't really believe it can happen.
Still, this sign has become a permanent fixture at most, if not all, business places. No mask, no entry. Roughly 92% of those interviewed insist there is significant compliance with mask wearing. An interesting result considering concerns that some Jamaicans are slacking off.
I think when people get out in public, they are more concerned about it. And if you go into their communities, they may be a little bit more relaxed, especially as recently we relaxed some of the measures, and I think that there probably was less compliance. The fieldwork dates for this were the 23rd of July to the 4th of August, or 3rd of August, So that may have impacted it.
Nonetheless, 78% of Jamaicans also believe that wearing a mask was the most effective measure to prevent the spread of COVID-19. The second most effective was social distancing at almost 9%, followed by closing schools and churches, restricting gatherings, and closing places of entertainment.
Now, we have to bear in mind, we have to think about how we read this. It is which one you found to be most effective. It is not that they didn't think that social distancing was, but that the most effective was actually wearing a mask.
Yet most Jamaicans found it hard to comply with the directive to wear masks. The second most difficult COVID-19 preventative measure was social distancing, followed by closing schools and churches, curfews, and the restrictions on gathering. Meanwhile, with vulnerable persons such as the elderly more at risk of catching the novel coronavirus, those 65 years and over were told to stay home unless they had to do essential tasks such as buying food and medication.
There was general agreement, very strong agreement. 82% of all persons that were interviewed said we believe those measures put in place to protect the 65 and over person were good. So there's strong positive acclamation there.
As for changes in daily habits that will remain after COVID, 51% of Jamaicans will wash their hands with soap and water more regularly. 31% will social distance, and others will avoid crowded places, wear a mask, go home within curfew hours, and avoid traveling overseas. Andrea Chisholm, TVJ News.